in the last video we talked about the chapter. We are just going through the chapter The Adventure of the Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. In the summary we have seen that named Toto, monkey, right? It was taken back by the grandfather and he took him along with him from the Tonga driver at his home and kept that monkey in that zoo. He added another monkey in that zoo. And in the last video we have seen that it was a secret kept by the writer and also the grandfather from the grandmother. And finally the writer and grandfather decided to keep a hide from the grandmother. So finally they decided where they have to keep that monkey. So they kept in the cupboard in writer's room, right? Then after finally the writer and the grandfather kept that monkey hide from the grandmother, because grandmother was very unlike and hated the animals, right? And grandfather was very happy to keep that animal at home, right? And finally they just tie that monkey with the hook in the cupboard and just hide that monkey in the cupboard. Now we'll see the next explanation, right? Hello students, today we'll see the further explanation. A few hours later, when grandfather and I come back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked bricks and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather did not worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. In this paragraph, the writer Ruskin Bond said after when just they tied it with hook in one of the cupboard in writer's bedroom, what happened after a few hours they came back again in writer's bedroom and grandfather and the writer just see and they become very surprised to see the atmosphere which was created by Toto monkey. Now when just they come back, they show what ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, which is on the wall of the cupboard, and it was broken by Toto. Right, so ornamental means what? Decorative, right? So in that cupboard the grandfather had decorated that wall by the wallpaper and it was very nice. But what happened when they just come back and they show that it was torn by Toto monkey. Now stood out as naked bricks and plaster. Naked means uncovered, because it was torn by the Toto, so that bricks, that wall become just we can say that it was uncovered, and it just we can say in that wall bricks and plaster will be seen by the grandfather and writer. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket and my school blazer, which had been hanging there. Beside that cupboard, what happened? One of the blazer, writer's blazer, school blazer, was hanging there, and it was also socket. Socket means it was attachment with that cupboard, but it was also wrenched. Wrenched means what? Broke. वो भी उसने तोड़ दिया था, right? So was in shreds. Shreds means cut into slice. उन्होंने ऐसे ही तोड़ दिया है, वो पूरा उन्होंने फाड़ दिया था ऐसे छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather did not worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. When I was so that my school blazer, I thought about my grandmother, what she will say. But when I just thought about the grandfather, he was very happy to see Toto's performance. He is clever, said grandfather. Given time, I am sure he would have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. When just grandfather and writer saw that small pieces of that blazer, grandfather makes some pranks with the writer. He said when this Toto had done this type of performance, he was very happy, and he said he is very clever. Who? Toto. Toto is very clever, and when we just give more time to the Toto, it means that your blazer will be made in a different several pieces, and वो जो several pieces है blazer के उसके छोटे छोटे ऐसे टुकड़ों का वो क्या बनाता? It will make rope, right? एक ऐसी रस्सी बनाता और उससे वो विंडो के बाहर कूद जाता. his presence in the house still a secret, Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet dog. But the monkey would not allow any of his companion to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. Now, when just they saw this type of atmosphere in the writer's cupboard, at that time they decided something else. What they decided is this secret will be still hide from the grandmother. So what they decide, now we'll transfer this Toto to the quarters, servants' quarters, where other animals were living, right? So they decided to transfer this Toto in along with the other animals. Which type of animals they were just kept in the servants' quarter? First, tortoise. You can see in this picture a pair of rabbit. Here also a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet dog also. So tortoise, rabbit, squirrel, and goat also there. And they kept that Toto with these animals. But the monkey would not allow any of his companion to sleep at night. Now when just they kept that monkey with these animals, whole night monkey not allow them to sleep well. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take along with him. Now what happened? Next day grandfather was going where? In Saharanpur for his pension work. So he decided to take monkey along with him, and finally next day he was leaving Dehradun and going Saharanpur. So monkey Toto was also going with him. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. I means who? Writer. Now here writer said, unfortunately I could not accompany with grandfather on that trip. Now उनके साथ वो writers उनके साथ नहीं जा रहे थे, उनकी trip means वो सहारनपुर writer उनके साथ नहीं जा रहे थे. But he told me about it after. But which type of incidents happened with grandfather? He told everything to the writer when just they came back again at home. A big black canvas kit bag also was provided for Toto. This with some straw at the bottom because it is new aboard. Now for that monkey, how he will take that monkey along with him to Saharanpur? So he decided to make another canvas kit bag for the monkey. Sorry, उन्होंने एक canvas black color की canvas के kit बनाई है, कैसा अलग सा बैग बनाया जिसके अंदर वो उन्होंने किसको रखा? Toto. This with some straw at bottom become his new abode. Abode means what? A new home, right? अब वो monkey के लिए दूसरा और नया home था. क्या? A canvas, black canvas kit bag. When the bag was closed, there was no escape, and Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Now when they are just going from the house, they are just coming out from the house, he just closed that bag. उसके अंदर क्या था? Monkey, right? So वो बैग के अंदर monkey को डाल दिया और he just closed that bag. He just zipped that bag. There was no escape. अब कोई इतनी भी जगह नहीं थी. There was no space to come out from the bag. But Toto could not get his hand through the opening, and canvas was too strong for him, right? So his efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor and occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers. Now what happened here? When just grandfather reached at the railway station of Dehradun, he just kept that bag on the floor, right? And that time it was just rolling, right? Because what was there inside? Toto was there. So पूरी बैग ऐसे गोल गोल पूरे प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर घूम रही थी, और वही टाइम पे just from that time only what happened? Toto came out from that bag, and on that railway station many people were there. They become just very surprised and curious because Toto made some pranks and some, just we can say, the horrible atmosphere on Dehradun railway station, on Dehradun railway platform. So here Toto make another pranks, Toto makes another incident with the people who was just standing on Dehradun railway station. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Turnstile means what? A mechanical gate consisting of revolving horizontal arms fixed to a vertical post, allowing only one person at a time to pass through. You can see in this picture how we can just on the railway station passing one by one from the gate. So this is called as a turnstile. When he was just passing through the turnstile, that ticket collector was standing there, and ticket collector just asked about the ticket to the grandfather. That time only grandfather kept his bag on the floor, and the ticket collector was checking his ticket. And that time only what happened, that Toto monkey picked out his head from the bag and gave a little smile towards the ticket collector. It means the ticket collector knows another animal is with the grandfather. So the poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." Now, when the grandfather, Toto monkey picked out his head from the canvas bag, and he just gave a little smile to the ticket collector. Ticket collector took a little steps back, and he just become very afraid of it, and just he said, and he become very angry on grandfather and said to grandfather that, "Sir, you have a dog with you." It means here ticket collector was not able to identify and recognize which type of animal is this. So directly he said to grandfather that this is a dog, so you have to pay another fare for this animal. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain he did try to prove that monkey did not qualify as a dog. Even as a quadruped, Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. In vain. Vain means what? Unsuccessful attempt. Finally, grandfather was trying again and again to prove that this is not a dog, this is a monkey. He gave many, just we can say, the proof and instances to just identify which type of animal is this. He said, "No, it is not a dog, it is a monkey." He said again and again, and proving that only this is not a dog, this is a monkey. But ticket collector was not listening him. He was not saying anything to the grandfather, and finally ticket collector classified and said that and declared that this is a dog, this is Toto is a dog, it is not a monkey. So because of that identification, you have to pay 3 rupees for its fare. So finally grandfather gave 3 rupees to the ticket collector as a fare of Toto. Then grandfather, just to get his bag, and took from his pocket pet the tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all the animals?" Then anyhow grandfather gave 3 rupees for the Toto to the ticket collector. So what happened? Grandfather was doing some pranks with the ticket collector and said to ticket collector only that, and he was just wanted to take a revenge to the ticket collector. So he said, what he said, "I have another animal." So he took out tortoise from his pocket and said, "What I have to pay for this animal? What must I pay for this, since you charge for all the animals? If you are taking all the charges for all the animals, I have another animal with me, it is a tortoise, so आप उसके लिए कितना पैसा लोगे?" He asked this question to the ticket collector. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a place, and trumped, looked and said, "No charges, it is a dog." So when just the grandfather asked this question to ticket ticket collector looked it closely. Which type of animal is this? He touched tortoise and he prodded, he pushed it also and said to grandfather, because grandfather knows that tortoise का कोई ऐसा fan नहीं होता. He just become happy and give a little smile to the ticket collector, and but ticket collector said that no, this is not a dog, this is a tortoise. So for the tortoise, no charges we are taking. It is not a dog. So we'll stop it here.